We wait for other participants. Okay, fine, students. So let me start the session. Okay, fine. Yeah. So we are done with this, right? We are done with this. So right now I'm in this for loop, right? So now I'm trying to print main thread colon I. And what's the value of I? Initial the value of I is 5. So therefore it will print main thread colon 5. I'm going to print main thread 5 value. That's what it is printing here. Yeah, that's what it's printing. And next you see the students here. I'm writing thread dot sleep. That's very, very important. I written here thread dot sleep. And what I'm trying to do when I write thread dot sleep is nothing but the main thread. So this is the main thread, right? I'm main thread, I'm making it to sleep. Okay. And what I said, students, you see that when a program is divided into two parts, that's part 1 and part 2. If part 1 is waiting for some input operation or input output operation, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start execution of my second thread. Why I'm trying to start execution of my second thread? Because my first thread is waiting for some input output operation. Since my first thread is waiting for some input output operation, I'm start executing the second thread. But here, instead of that input output operation, what I'm trying to do here, I'm making my thread to sleep. When my thread is sleeping, means my thread is not doing any work. This thread is referring to my main thread. Okay, here my thread is not doing any work. Since my thread is not doing any work, that is my main thread. Since my main thread is not doing any work, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start executing my second thread. And what's my second thread? The name of my second thread is demo thread. Okay, so when I write t dot start, that's what I said. When I'm running the t dot start, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this code. The second thread refers to the code which it has to the code the second thread should execute must be written will be specified inside this run method. Okay, so when my main thread is sleeping, I'm going to run my second thread. When I run the second thread, the code inside this run method will be executed. Okay, fine. So now let me clear my drawings. And you see that here I'm making my thread to sleep. Here 1000 indicates that I'm making my thread to sleep for 1000 milliseconds. And 1000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second. 1000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second. So I'm making my thread to sleep for 1 second. Since my main thread is sleeping, okay, I'm going to start my second thread. So next, the code inside this thread will be executed. So the second thread should execute. And what's the name of my second thread? It is demo thread. Okay, 1 second, students. Yeah. Now this code will get executed. Again, I'm writing a for loop for I equal to 5, I greater than 0, I minus. Next, I'm trying to print child thread colon I. And what's the value of I? Initially, the value of I is 5. So I'm going to print, you see that child thread colon 5. I'm going to print. Now what I'm trying to do, again, I'm making thread dot sleep. Now here this thread is referring to my child thread. That is my second thread, that is demo thread. And now I'm making this thread to sleep for half a second, 500 milliseconds. 500 milliseconds is something, but it is half a second. Now this thread also is sleeping. Okay, so now you see that this thread also is sleeping. This thread is sleeping, and this also is sleeping. This also is sleeping. Now this thread is sleeping for how many seconds? 1 second. Now this thread is sleeping for half a second. So once half second expires, again this thread will come back. This thread is sleeping only for half a second. Once half second expires, again this thread will come up. So once the thread comes up, again it's going to execute this for loop. Again I'm going to print system.out.println children colon, and what's the value of I? As you see that here, I'm trying to decrement the value of I. So when I decrement, the value of I will be 4. So 4 is greater than 0. Since 4 is greater than 0, again, I'm going to print child thread colon. Now I'm going to print the value called 4. So that's why I'm getting child thread colon 4. Now after printing, you see that again I'm executing thread dot sleep. Again, this thread is going to sleep for half a second. And again, this thread is going to sleep for half a second. Okay. So once half second expires. So now what is half plus half? Half plus half is nothing but this 1 second. Just 1 second. Now 1 second has expired. Now 1 second has expired. So once 1 second has expired, now again my main thread will start running. Again, my main thread will start running. Why my main thread will start running? Because I made my main thread to sleep only for 1 second. Okay. So once 1 second gets expired, so again my main thread will start running. So now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to decrement the value of I. The value of I is become 4. Again, I'm checking whether 4 is less than 0. Yes, 4 is less than 0. Again, I'll print in system.out.println main thread colon, and what's the value of I? That is 4. Therefore, in output, you can see that I'll get main thread colon 4. Now, after printing this value, what I'm trying to, again, I'm making my thread to sleep for 1 second. Again, I'm making my thread to sleep for 1 second. Okay. Now, when this thread is sleeping, what's going to happen? Again, my child thread will come up. Again, my child thread will come up. Again, what it does, again, this for loop will be executed. Now, this time, the value of I will be 3. Again, I'll be checking the condition. The condition is true. Since the condition is true, again, I'm going to print the value of I, and that is child thread colon I. Now, what's the value of I? Now it is 3. It is 3. And therefore, I'll get again output child thread colon 3. And again, I'm making this child thread to sleep for half a second. Making the child thread to sleep for half a second. So once half second expires, again this child thread will come up. Again this child thread will come up. Again I'm going to execute this for loop, and this next iteration, the value of I will be 2. I'll be checking the condition. The condition is 2. Again I'll be printing child thread colon 2. So therefore I'll get the value called 2. So again I'm making this child thread to sleep for half a second. So half a second, 1 second. So once 1 second expires, both this child thread and main thread will be child thread and main thread will be alive, but main thread will start executing. Again, here in value of 4. Now the 4 will be decremented to 3. It will decrement to 3. Again, I'll be checking the condition. 3 is greater than 0. The condition is 2. Again, I'll printing main thread colon 3. So that's why you can see that in the output, you can see again I'll printing main thread colon 3. So like that, it goes on. Like that, it goes on until I finish execution of this for loop. Okay, until so finally I'll get the following result. So like this, it goes on. Like that, it goes on. Finally, I'll get this output. It goes on. Finally, it print exiting the tail thread means a child thread has finished its execution. Okay, the child thread has finished executing this code. So once the child thread has finished executing this code, I'll be getting child thread exiting. Next, once the main thread has finished executing this code. So once the main thread has finished executing this code, finally I'll get a message called main thread exiting. So you see that exiting child thread, exiting main thread. That's all it is. Yeah, I have any questions, students, with respect to this? There's only one thing here. Thread dot sleep means you're making the thread. You're sleeping the thread. Instead of using this input operation, we use this thread dot sleep. When you use thread dot sleep, this thread is not doing any work. If the thread is not doing any work, I'm going to run my second thread. That is my child thread. Okay, and you're making my child thread to sleep for half a second, 500 milliseconds. That's all it is. Now, the most important thing here I need to discuss here, and last thing, students, you'll see that here I place the code inside this try block. I place this code inside this try and catch block. You see that this entire block of code. You notice last 1 second, I'll finish it off. You see that this entire block of code, this for loop. See that this entire for loop, as you noticed, I placed inside this catch block. You see that I placed inside this catch block, try and catch block. You notice why? Because that's very important. Because sleep is a method. Sleep is a method which throws. Sleep is a method which throws interrupted exception. Sleep is a method which throws interrupted exception. Since sleep is a method which throws interrupted exception, so therefore I need to place this block of code inside this try and catch block. And therefore here also you can see that here also I've used try block. Here also I've used catch block. You see that why I use try and catch block? Because sleep is a method which throws interrupted exception. Since this is a method which throws interrupted exception, therefore we need to place inside this try and catch block. Now you may ask questions, sir, how come we know that sleep is a method which throws interrupted exception? For this, you need to check the documentation, right? And let me show that. You see that we call this as second. You need to check these documentations. The documentation will be mentioning. You see that here. You see that sleep. Sleep is a method which throws interrupted exception. Since sleep is a method which is throwing interrupted exception, when you're trying to call a sleep method, we need to place inside this try and catch block. As you notice, students, how I have brought this sleep method, I will call the sleep method like this: thread dot sleep. See that? I'm calling the sleep method with respect to name of the class. That is, sleep is a method which is present inside the class called thread. Why I'm calling thread dot sleep? Because you see that sleep is a static method. Anything which is static can be called with respect to class name. So therefore I call thread dot sleep. Okay, therefore I call thread dot sleep. So why we need to place a sleep method inside this try block? Why we need to place? Because sleep is a method which throws interrupted exception. I think we have discussed this. So any method which throws interrupted exception is mandatory that we need to place inside this try and catch block. Yeah, fine. Yeah, that's all for my today's class. You have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave the session. Have a nice day. Any questions, students? You can ask. If there are no questions, it's well and good. You can leave the session. Okay, fine, students. That's all for today's class. Have a nice day.